tick tock, time na money. Ori, me, check a shake yori. Lick it, come and take me away to the place of my desire. I don't wanna be there.
Yes, people, welcome to Lasgidi Effect, the show where we have a bunch of Niger football lovers just having a banter, having some arguments. They're feeling like they know about football, but many of them don't know. We're going to find out in this show. I want to start by apologizing profusely. This show was supposed to start at 8:30. Unfortunately, I wasn't supposed to be the host. I'm not feeling too well. Gbemiga was supposed to be the host, but there's a big thunderstorm happening right now in America, unfortunately, and I think it was really causing out his internet, and that's the reason why he couldn't continue as the host today. But listen, I'm still a good host, aren't I? And I've got with me here Mossyboy. Hopefully we'll be able to get Gbemiga in because we cannot control the weather. It's really bad. I can literally hear the thunderstorms from ends. So I really apologize for that. And I wasn't even ready for this. So I had to start sorting out my microphone, my headphones, and different things, really. I bet me no vex. I get on my knees. Me no vex. Man. I got people. Vex. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, Mossyboy, how you doing, man? What's good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You know, same thing still. Seriously, I can't just wait for our Premier League season to start anymore now. So I'm just looking forward.
You don't tire. You're bored.
I'm just tired. I'm not enjoying this international because England just keep putting me on the edge of my seat. Trust, you know.
But they are winning now. What
Yeah,
do you define for this life?
they're winning, but you don't know. They're just like Arsenal. You watch them one game they play, or you watch them. You know, at least I'm just trying to not them to give me an heart attack. I just like go with the flow of the game they're playing.
Don't die of heart attack. Don't die of heart attack. I beg, because listen, I don't have. In fact, talking about that yet. Talking about the heart attack and cardiac arrest and all that. For those that don't know, it is very essential that people go and start getting the training. I'll soon get the training, especially after what happened to Eriksen. We've been doing a lot of training about that, and it is very important. No jokes. It's something that I think people need to learn because you don't know when, so you can save a life, and that's what happened when the captain of Denmark saved his life. Let's just do a little bit of rounds on the chat because we're already way behind time, and I want us to finish as quickly as we can. And we'll be talking about all the topics today. But a quick shout out to a few people. Theo, Baba, how you doing now? Waiting to happen. How you doing? No fear, no wala. Correct guy. Randy Viper, what the hell is Gbemiga? Like I said, man, America is pouring a lot of rain right now, man. I don't even know what's a thunderstorm. You understand? It's really crazy. His internet is messed up. He was supposed to be the host today, but listen, you've got me. You need to manage me, man. All right, yeah, Theo. My brother, you're Nigerian. Yes, he is Nigerian. Mossyboy low-key, no one make England succeed. You see, at the team, bad belly people, bad belly people, bad belly. You see that? No, you see that? You see that? Maybe that. His name is Mossyboy. Listen, let's get straight into the show. There's a lot of things we want to cover, and I want us to cover it very quickly. We're talking about the likes of Benitez, Halland, Kane going to Man City, Lokonga, Nuno Tavares. We're talking about Sancho. We're also talking about Neves as well. Are you ready?
Yeah,
Let's
I'm good.
Let's get straight into it. Rafa Benitez. Is it a crime? Is it a crime for this guy? Look, the reason why the caption is like that is because this guy won the Champions League with Liverpool, and now he's the manager of one of their greatest, even their greatest rivals in the Merseyside. Is that a crime to the Liverpool fans? What are your thoughts on this transfer?
Well, I don't think that to me personally, because I'm not a Liverpool fan, I'm not an Everton fan, so I can't really say much. But to me, it's not a crime to me. It's just like one football player move across. We've seen so many footballers. Tevez has done it. We've seen what is it called? A lot of team from Manchester have done it. So if a manager is doing it, he's not going to be the first person that is going to do it. So I don't see any crime in that at all. So it's what it
Okay,
is.
okay.
Liverpool
I
fans just
want
have
you
to
to
move on
picture
with it.
this as if you are a fan.
Okay.
How would you see this transfer?
Yeah, but if I let me put myself in the shoes of a
That's
Liverpool
why I'm
fan.
asking. Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I'm not going to be happy, but there's nothing I can do about it. The only thing I would do is just to moan. That I'll probably come back and be calling him a Judas and say, okay, why does it have to go to our enemy after winning us the Champions League? At least he should kind of give us that respect and all. So, but this thing is all about money. The money they're paying him maybe probably is worth more than what he's expecting. So you just have to accept it. And remember, one of Arsenal billionaires is at Everton now, Usmanov. So he's ready to spend. So if and when Rafa Benitez was at Newcastle, what he's asking for, they can't give it to him. He's at Everton now. He's go to the board. He asks for this player. They're ready to give him that player. If you understand what I mean. So
Mm.
he looked at it. He said, "Oh yeah, this board they are ready to spend. So why not?" So yeah.
Okay. Interesting spin on that. I mean, for me, I could just look at like say, listen, my guy needs to chow. My guy needs to chop. I don't
Yeah,
care about anybody. I need to eat.
that's correct.
I need money I need money to take my children to the best schools
Mm-hmm.
all over the world. I need
Yeah,
to take care of my family. I need to take care of my
yeah.
generation. So it's gonna be looking at like people, what's my own? Because
Mm-hmm.
the reason I'm saying this is because there's been a threat. I don't know if you guys heard, but there's been a threat from some stupid Liverpool fans. Sorry, some stupid, I think Liverpool fans.
Mm-hmm.
They sent, I don't know whether they sent a letter, I can't remember the details of it, but they said that we know where you live.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take the job. Something in that line. So they were
Mm-hmm.
threatening him not to take this job. But you know, fans sometimes they take him too far. You understand what I'm saying? But the reason why I say this is a crime is simply because when you think about the likes of Luis Figo back then, when Luis Figo they went from, Barcelona to Real
Barcelona to Real
Madrid.
Madrid. Yeah, that's right.
It's
Yeah.
almost like you're seeing Totti.
Mm-hmm.
Just decided from Roma, he could just go one of his rivals. Just
That's
like
right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Or Gerrard would just make one move from Liverpool to Man United.
To me, you
You
know,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said it's a crime to the Liverpool fans. And I want to hear what the guys have to say in the chat. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's a crime for this man who won the Champions League, people? Champions League for Liverpool to now take a job in Everton?
At Everton.
I don't know. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'll be very interested to hear what these guys have to say about this. Big up to you, Sentiment FC, Everton fans, but they are all scorsers. Yeah, but what do you think about this transfer? What do you think about this transfer? Randy Viper, Everton have more ambition than Arsenal. Do you agree, Mossyboy? Do you agree with that statement, Mossyboy? This is a question to you.
The board of Everton, yes, I would say, because Arsenal board, they're not ready to, what are they? Well, they've been there longer than the Everton board now, and for I know they finished behind Arsenal last season, but they have more ambition. They're trying to get their squad as good as, you know their squad at the moment are with Everton squad at the moment, because the board have ambition. This is the reason why, if what's it called, Usmanov managed to buy Arsenal then, when he requested to buy the share from Kroenke, assuming he managed to get that deal done, Arsenal, we're not going to be saying all of this now, because it will be ready to invest. He will be ready to spend money, his own money, on the club, on the player that the manager wants. And we're not going to be in this situation. We will be bringing the right manager in place, instead of the manager that, like, it was a completely different thing. But to me,
Okay.
I would say Arsenal. What's
Okay.
it called?
Cool.
Arsenal. The ambition of Arsenal is way lower than Everton right now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Gbemiga, welcome. I thought maybe the rain that swept you away or something, because obviously I was just telling them about the fact, say, one time money was rain. One time usually man was rain for America, they follow with plenty thunder and lightning. They fire you for your house. And next thing you cut out your internet. So I wasn't even expecting you again. Oh my God. Bye-bye. I am making you to be the host now. And you know, some people miss you here because they believe you're a better host. So maybe you just take over the show. Anyway, how are you?
It's late.
Can
It's
you hear
late. He
us?
can't hear you. It's late to him.
It's
Hello,
delayed, man.
Gbemiga,
It's
can you hear?
delayed.
His internet is still messing
It's
up.
delayed, man.
Eh,
Internet is
mm,
messed up. Try and, you know what, go out and come back in, yeah? Go out and come back in. All right. Okay, I think his internet is so red, I can literally see how bad it is. So listen, people, as far as I'm concerned, it is not a bad thing, personally, because people have to look at it from two perspectives. Person
yeah.
we want chop, he
Mm-hmm.
need work.
Of course.
Benitez went to look for a job. He's out of a job. They give him a job. You go blame him. You no go blame him. People
No,
get emotional all the time.
all the
I can
time. That's
understand
correct.
if it's banter. Make them banter around. But no, that one I'll go they threaten them. They tell them, say,
Threaten, yeah.
I know where you live. Which kind of nonsense with that? It's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
It's
understand what I'm
annoying. That's
saying?
right.
When I go to
Yeah, I
take
get you.
people
I get you.
like say, now something not supposed to kill herself over. I'm going to threaten manager because manager take job. Not make him go bankrupt. Make the guy feeding children now.
Yeah.
This level. Anyway, let's take a few more comments quickly, and then we'll go to the next person.
Okay.
Gbemiga, welcome to the club, Niger. Jonathan, don't jam you for abroad. By the way, I'll put the links. I'll put the links in the charts if you want to join. It's still going to be controlled. I'm not going to have like 8 people in, obviously, but the link is in there if you want to join and just come and share your thoughts on
Opinion.
some of the
Yeah.
things I'm talking about. But we need to finish early because we've actually started late. So I'm going to be moving like a clappers, and I'm going to apologize beforehand. I'm going to speed up small, to talk faster. So don't be angry if I speed you up because I want us to finish early. Sentiments, Randy, what was he saying here? And has a small club, Everton. They should be overjoyed. Don Carlo. Now, Rafa.
Rafa.
No, that's true. That's true. Two big guns have joined them. That's true. It's elevating their status a little bit. It's elevating their status. There he is, the best host. Well, he's gone again. Obviously, useless internet, isn't it? Listen. Let's move straight to the next thing we want to talk about because, like I said, I want us to move in like the clappers today. There is no waste of time. Let's go, people. Let's go. Be excited. Just Chronicle. He said, "Make una day excited. Be excited. Are Arsenal fans excited yet? 2 21-year-olds are coming to Arsenal in the images of Nuno Tavares and Lokonga. These guys are closing in on signing. They're going to be signing pretty soon. There were rumors that Tavares was flying into London, that he's already in London. And then I saw another publication saying that he isn't in London yet, but that was a lie. But the fact of the matter is this guy is definitely joining Arsenal. I was on Football Terrace. I was talking with Terry the other time, and we said he showed a lot of heat map of this guy where he likes to operate. He operates as an attacking left back. His defensive ability is not all there. He's always forward minded and all that. But this guy is young, and I'm seeing this guy like someone that will definitely compete with Turner. We know he's a backup because let's be honest, he's only played 25 games in the last 2 seasons for the Liga NOS. That is their own Premier League in Portugal. He's only played 25 games, but I think he's played about 40-something games in total if you combine everything. But he's already a backup in Benfica, so definitely in his mind, he's not expecting just going to be a first-team player in Arsenal. No, it's an opportunity for him to grow. It's an opportunity for him to fight for his place, and he's going to be a backup. But he looks very exciting from what people are saying and from his map. I don't know what you think about this guy. We've got Tio. Let me bring Tio in. Okay. All right. What do you feel about this guy?
But I've never seen him play before. I don't know him. So any signing Arsenal made, I don't think I will be really excited about it until I actually see them play. So I don't really think it's going any of those two.
Why are you such a killjoy?
No, it's not that. But these two players they're signing, they're not exciting me at all. because
Really?
I don't know them. I haven't seen them play anywhere. So, but if they come to us now, they hit the ground running. They kind of get us to where we want to be. Yeah, happy days. You understand what I mean? And then now we're signing all these players. The manager cannot come and tell me that it doesn't get all the players that he wants when by the time next season is going to start. If these two player comes in before the preseason start, they have enough time to join the squad, to go out to preseason with them, to know all the players at least enough for them for the season to start. And when the season starts, they're not going to come and tell me after 10 games we're sitting in 10th or we're sitting in 11 after 10 games and saying that the club doesn't give him what he wants. I will be seriously. I will be
So
bringing
so
in Banner
so
to
you actually
Lasgidi
think
first.
Arsenal has gotten all the players they want? Is that what you're
No, no, no.
saying?
I'm not saying that because what I'm expecting. What I'm saying is this manager is giving the board the list of player that he wants, and now they giving him all those player, and we don't know what they are. Maybe probably these two are part of them.
Buendia?
Yeah,
Buendia?
maybe probably Buendia is there. Maybe probably Besuma is there. If all
Yeah,
of
but
those play,
Buendia we didn't get him.
yeah, we didn't get him. Yeah, but man, come on. Listen, I understand what you're saying. We didn't get Buendia, right? We didn't get Buendia. I maybe like what when we discuss about it, maybe probably the package the Aston Villa sell to him is better. We don't know. The only thing we're hearing is the news. The deal is sort of the same. That is what we heard about it. We cannot actually say this. And Buendia might probably think, oh, let me go to Aston Villa. I'm sure of week in, week out, I'll be playing week in, week out. And it's not, if it goes to Arsenal, it's not guaranteed to be doing that.
Okay,
So,
cool,
yeah.
cool. Let's hear from Theo. Theo, how are you doing today? How you doing?
Yeah,
How Nigeria now? What did happen?
come on,
Nepa don't
Naija
carry light.
dey now. Nepa don't carry light since that one dey normal now. Nepa don't carry light. Now I mean I tell Gbemiga, I dey type am say Gbemiga don dey see Naija network for USA. So
But yeah, I'll
it is
tell you, man.
what it is. I do.
All right, so let's get straight to the point. Like I said, I'm gonna be rushing you guys today.
Yeah.
Quickly. What's your take on Nuno Tavares and Lokonga?
Lokonga. I don't really have any issues with it because clearly they are not the main signings because I think Nuno Tavares is coming as a backup to Tierney and Lokonga is basically coming as a replacement for Guendouzi, who is most likely leaving. I like the profile of the players, especially Lokonga, because
Can I stop you there? There's always
Yeah.
a feedback. I remember the playback from the last. There's a feedback from you. I don't know if something is close to your microphone or there's always a feedback from you. I kind of hear that in the post production.
Is there any feedback right now?
Can you say that again?
Is there any feedback right now?
Yeah, it's almost like a static that follows your voice when you speak. But anyway, if you can't do anything about it, we'll have to live with the L then. But go on. Sorry, you were saying it's just something I noticed in the last broadcast, and I keep hearing that. It's like a static that follows your voice, as if something is very close to your microphone that's touching it. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, as I was saying, they are not first team players. They are squad players. So I don't really have any issue with it. Like a player like Lokonga, I'm actually kind of excited because I like his profile as a player. He's athletic, he's mobile, and he can develop. He's very young. He comes from a good system in Anderlecht. So if they're not the
So why do you feel he's a squad player? Because apparently this guy is the captain at 21. It reminds me of Delic. It reminds me of
I've been hearing
it reminds me of Delic. Sorry?
I've been hearing rumors of that. He's not the main captain at Anderlecht. He's like one of the captains. Maybe it was like a match that maybe the main captain got subbed because I think he's not even the vice captain. It's just one random day. Maybe they're playing a cup game and they gave him the captain's armband. It's not like he's Anderlecht's main captain. Like Tierney was the captain sometimes for Celtics, but the main captain for Celtic is it Scott Brown? So he's not the main captain.
That's correct.
Okay, that's actually an interesting spin because honestly, all the broadcasts I've been on, everyone actually, I've not looked deep into that area, but everyone thinks he's the captain at 21. So this is actually an interesting spin. I've never heard about that. I don't know what the guys in the chats feel about it. But listen, let me look at some of the few chats and we'll move over to the next topic of the day. Big up to you, James Dunlop. How you doing now, my brother? You know what how we day means? It means how are you? Let me start teaching you guys a little bit of pidgin because you guys might be hearing a little bit of, languages you don't understand. So how you day is like how are you? So if you hear me say how you day now, James Dunlop, what's up? What's up? How you day? It means how are you? Randy Viper, mixed on the appointment, but I'm willing to take a chance. I think you guys are chatting between yourself, but it's been a long time, man. What's been up with you, Jimmy? What's been up with you? Good to see you again, by the way. Good to see you again. I heard from Benfica fans, Tavares is bad. Can you tell us who these fans are? Because I don't trust this Randy Viper, but I don't trust him. Some of his rumors, I don't trust him.
There are pictures of Benfica fans' tweets that they are complaining about his attitude. That it was like there was a public beef between him and their main left back, Grimaldo, if you know Grimaldo. So he's not. Let's just say he's not a fan favorite, just like Xhaka. He has very split opinions among the fans.
Okay. Well, what's sentiment saying? Tade, I won't get giddy and pop bottles over a couple of youths. I'll be a little happier with 3 starters: DM, AM, RB, and excited for with 2 more CMs at striking and right wing. Spinazzola. What do you think of him? Do you know what? I've not really looked a lot at Spinazzola, to be honest with you. I can't really comment on him. But there's something I want you guys to understand, right? Which is very, very important. Sometimes football is not all about big names. It's not all about big names sometimes. Zinchenko, for instance, who is doing beats in Man City, right? I don't think I ever heard about that guy until he went to Man City, for instance. And look at how good he is, even for Ukraine. Sometimes the only thing we can do is hope that the scouts get it right. We just have to. Sometimes you have to hope. I know as Arsenal fans, it's very hard because
do you want me to
we've not been getting it right for a long time.
Do you want me to say something before you move on that one?
Yeah, go on.
Zinchenko is playing under a way better manager that can be that even we're looking at all these 2 young youths that we want to sign now, these 2 21-year-olds. One of them can go to Man City under Pep Guardiola and become a big star. How do we know that if these 2 guys go to Arsenal, because last season we're not convinced that this guy can make like a small player to become a big player, if you understand what I mean.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about our manager. So
okay, that's your opinion?
That's my opinion, yes. Because that last season I'm not convinced about his tactics, about the way he play, about the way he deal with players, about his man management. I'm not convinced about it. So
okay, so I'll ask you this question, right? And I'll ask you this question. If you say people have not developed under him, Emil Smith Rowe
has been an Arsenal before he came. Yeah, he doesn't develop under Arteta.
You have to give Arteta credit.
Hang on, because it seems like this is where you and I keep arguing, because when you argue against someone, you should have valid points. And I'm bringing in some valid points to you now.
Okay.
And you want to deflect,
telling me I will listen to you. All right.
Emil Smith Rowe was there before, agreed. But Emil Smith Rowe thrived under Arteta. The stories we had under Man City is Sterling and Sane improved because of him. They came out and said it's specifically because of him. They didn't even talk about Pep. Secondly, what I'm going to ask you is, do you think every player is going to thrive over every manager? Negredo played under Pep Guardiola. He didn't thrive in Man City. You have Ake finding it very difficult to make the team in Man City.
But Ake was not bought. No. Ake was not bought to come and take over. He bought as a backup.
Boyata Boyata was also in Man City when Pep Guardiola was there. What happened to him? Aymeric, I can't remember the guy's name again. I can't remember this guy's name. There's a striker. I can't remember his name. But the point I'm trying to make to you is you bringing that argument, for me, I think is just a way to spite Arteta because you don't like him.
No. It's not that. It's not that. What I'm Tade, you're getting me wrong. What I'm trying to say is what I saw last season. Get me right. What I saw last season, I am not convinced with what Arteta did last season. I will go back to this again. Let me tell you this again. I will go back to this. Yeah. Season before we finished 8th because people forget we finished 8th because we won the FA Cup. Then that last season we finished 8th. We didn't win nothing. People realized that we finished 8th season before and we finished 8th this season. No improvement. So because of that FA Cup, people think that he has done something miraculous. No.
But to be honest, to give Arteta credit, he came in December. We had already written that season off. That's 1920. We had most Arsenal fans had written that season off that we weren't going to achieve everything after the disastrous start with Emery. But he came and he won an FA Cup because I remember when we were drawn in the semi-final, there were Man U, Man City, and Chelsea left. Nobody expected us to win that FA Cup. So we have to give props to him for winning it against very tough teams. It's not like he faced an Aston Villa in the final or he faced a Hull City. He beat a Man City team in the semi-final and beat a Chelsea team who were favourites in the final. And as for developing the youth, to be honest, under Arteta, Saka has improved. Yes, you can say it's just natural growth. The Saka I watched when he first came under Emery, he had the quality, but there were still things for him to improve in his game. And as Arteta came in, after deploying him in the left back position, in which he did very well, he has put him in that right wing position and he's thriving. Because before people were saying, does Saka have a permanent position as a player? But right now, Arteta has put him in that right wing position and he's thriving. Same as Smith Rowe. Nobody really knew about Smith Rowe. Like, people knew that Smith Rowe was our youth player. But with Martinelli, Nelson, Nketiah, Willock, and Saka, even before we call Smith Rowe, when it comes to ranking our youths, because why? He went on loan, was not very successful, had his injury issues. When he came back, didn't really have a chance, had 1 or 2 matches under Freddie Ljungberg. But as soon as Arteta deployed him against Chelsea, yes, you might say maybe it was due to circumstance, but he has improved since then as a player, and we are seeing it. So you just need to give Arteta credit sometimes. I get as a manager and we finished 8th in 2 seasons. We need to give him credit.
Okay.
So you need to. So what you are saying is, I hear.
Hang on, Mossyboy. Sorry, I need to go to Gbemiga now. Sorry.
Okay.
You have your chance later. Gbemiga, what's your take on these 2 signings, Nuno Tavares and, because we're digressing to Arteta and I want us to stick to the topics, Nuno Tavares and Lokonga. What's your take on them?
Yeah, all right, thanks guys. First of all, sorry, literally had a thunderstorm. It messed up the entire internet connection, but I think it's done now. So yeah, on the signings, I'm
yes.
As
Nuno Tavares?
What I was going to say is, for the longest time since the season ended and we've been waiting to hear like good transfer news, this is like the first week, so to say, that like I'm like, wow, we're actually making like reasonable signings and it looks like we're actually signing players. It's not just, I know it's still rumors, the club hasn't confirmed anything, but this looks legit. And it's not like, we can't look at it and say, oh, it looks like we're making a mistake. It looks like you're actually doing the things that you should be doing, right? You're addressing the issues that we should be addressing, right? So for example, Tavares as a backup for Kieran Tierney, last season we saw what's not having a backup for Tierney, what it cost us. And so bringing that guy in, I'm like, okay, yeah, this makes sense, right? same as Lokonga. I mean, obviously, with the midfield situation, we want a stronger midfield. We want, fighters in the midfield. Granit Xhaka is probably going to leave. You need to bring in midfielders to. I mean, I've always said I feel like we have a lot of midfielders, and you should try the ones we have. But I understand that there's a lot of controversy over the people we currently have. So you want to bring in new people. But I think they're positive signs, right? And I think that. And I think maybe this is where the conversation Theo and Mossyboy were having becomes a bit more relevant, right? So Theo mentioned earlier, Tavares is not necessarily a gentle player. He has had his own controversies in Benfica. Literally made a video where he was throwing shades at the first choice left back, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going
to.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's going to come here and be like that as well. He might not. I remember when Aubameyang came here as well, he had issues in Dortmund. But so far, Aubameyang has been on his best behavior, at least apart from coming late to training and getting benched against Spurs last season. So I don't know if he's going to be that kind of guy. And what the real question mark is, can our manager manage young players well? The truth is we can't say yes and we can't say no, because there have been good examples of young players, like you mentioned, Smith Rowe, Saka. Sometimes we don't want to give him all the credit. I try to be as objective as possible with Arteta, because I was one of the people that said, hey, I can't give Arteta credit for Smith Rowe. I can't give Arteta credit for Saka. But the truth is, he did poorly, but I do think he has improved in the way he has developed those two players. So I will give him credit for, even though, he did something wrong, right? But he seemed to have reversed it. We've seen what Smith Rowe has been doing and what Saka has been doing. And we can't, you have to now say, okay, you know what, even though he messed up in the beginning, he's doing this right now. But there are also examples of young players that haven't really thrived under Mikel Arteta, right? And I've always said that the real reason for that is because of the situation we're in. Arteta cannot afford to trust people who are not very proven. Because first of all, he's trying to protect his job. He doesn't want to get fired. He doesn't want to finish 8th again. So he only wants to choose the people that is sure will work, right? Okay. So he just needs to strike a balance.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
this
please.
is to everybody, because what you've just said. Now I want to ask a question. I want us to move on to the next topic quickly. Can anyone tell me any team in the world where everybody thrives under a coach?
I don't think so.
Exactly.
One team that everybody in that team thrives under that coach, young or old.
I don't think there isn't. It's not possible.
It is just not possible.
If I can just say one more thing, because people normally just have this conversation. Oh, why is he not starting Martinelli? Why is he not starting Balogun? But they get vexed if Saka doesn't start or Pepe doesn't start. When Pepe is on the bench, oh, why isn't benching Pepe? But they forget Martinelli starting for Pepe. So what exactly do you think to do? Because you are saying why didn't
don't say that, because I think that might be gaslighting. Don't say that, right? Nobody. The reason why when people say Martinelli, that it's true, but people don't say it in the context of Pepe or Saka. You need to be honest. People say it especially when you play William instead of Martinelli, right? Or especially when especially. That's one. Two is especially when let me finish my point. Especially when you have those last 30. I'll give you a classic example. We're playing West Brom. We're leading them 4-0. And he had a chance to bring on a player. Instead of Martinelli, he brought on William. Those are the things that make people complain. Do you understand? It's not like I won't say bench Martinelli for Pepe, right? Pepe for me is the first choice, right? But when you have the extra 30 minutes in a game, the extra 20 minutes in a game that you seem to have won, give that opportunity to Martinelli. Let him play sometimes, And when you're playing a smaller team where you need to rest your first team players, let Martinelli be the guy you play. That's what we say.
Gentlemen, in as much as I want us to talk about this, I think this should be a show on its own, really, because I want us to move over to the next.
That's exactly. I don't want to say anything, because if I start, we will be going or we'll go on forever. So we just stick to the topic. So yeah.
So let's. It's actually an interesting. Honestly, what you guys are saying is an interesting topic, and I think it's something we'll probably talk. We can talk about more towards the ending. Let's cover the topics as we have time. We'll come back to this. And there's a lot of people in the chat saying a lot of things. Obviously, we have what's his name? Okay, let me just read a few things from James Dunlop. I'll take 8 and a FA Cup. It's been too long for us winning anything. Listen, man, you're gonna take anything, man. Honestly, even if they give you a plate, even if they give you community shield, man, you take it, man, with all your arms. like this.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sentiment. I think Sentiment was just saying Missy Man is back.
Yeah, that's you, man. That's you, man. You know, they miss you so much. You know, they want you to be the host of this show, not me. So there you go. They don't like me on here. He hasn't improved. Obviously, he's talking about Saka. You know, he doesn't like Saka, so whatever opportunity he has is always gonna. He said bias, blah 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 blah. Sentiment. Ateta can't improve himself. How can he improve players, let alone? Saka was more dangerous under Emre. Wow, interesting. Wow. No credit. He only changed because he was forced to do Salt Bay and COVID. These guys. James, I'm not going to lie. I've never heard of these players you guys are possibly signing. Yep, many of us have not heard of them until when they came into the radar. Let's be honest. Sentiment. Tavares Lokonga, baby food signing, easy low hanging fruit where the big boys be Suma. Neves. We're going to talk about Neves pretty soon, so just hold that thought. I'm hearing Victor Meldrew. I don't believe it. I don't know who Victor Meldrew is. I really don't know who that is, to be honest. Emery raised Martinelli. Ateta buried him. Wow. Emery
That's actually
Martinelli.
True. That I agree with that. That's true. That's correct.
Wow. Listen, people, make sure you smash the likes. If you're watching this right now on Twitter or on YouTube, please smash the like. If you are on Twitter watching this, please come to YouTube. Please come to YouTube. There's no point staying on Twitter watching this. Come to YouTube. Listen, people, we need to move over to the next topic at hand. Let's get straight into it because this is what you guys are not going to like to hear, but let's get straight into it. Nuno Espirito, people, signs for our arch rivals because I think everyone here is an Arsenal fan. And Kane might be leaving. What are your thoughts about this? Apparently, this guy has signed, and I was actually hoping to hear them say, oh, they didn't agree on the fee. You know, two managers have come and they couldn't agree on the fee because they couldn't pay him. And it's so obvious that big managers don't want to go to Tottenham, maybe for whatever reason. Maybe they're not going to get them the players they want, or maybe they're just not going to pay them the money that they want. I don't know. But two managers have docked on Tottenham, and now they are putting the chance on Nuno Espirito. What do you guys feel about this guy?
Seems I'm the only one here now.
How far will you two? Toxic. We'll get to you in a bit.
What's up, man? 100. You cool, man? Yeah, awesome.
Good. Tio, what's your thoughts on this signing by Tottenham? What's your thoughts on it?
To be honest, it's a decent signing. It's not something I'm shivering, I'm scared about, like a Conte or something. It's just a decent signing. It's like a Mourinho, would I say, because basically it's just a lesser, it's a less known Mourinho, the same kind of defensive play style, all about counter attack, sit back, counter attack, sit back, counter attack. I don't really think it's something that will elevate Tottenham to the next level, because looking at Nuno and the environment he had around Wolves, you saw he basically everything was working for him around Wolves, super agents, Portuguese players, like the whole structure supported him, and yet he still didn't really impress in this last season. So if he's coming into a Daniel Levy, who everybody knows is stubborn, and they're having a director of football that couldn't even get a manager, I don't really think Tottenham will be that much of a threat.
Okay. Let me get straight into you, Toxic. I'm gonna slam this on you straight up, man. How you there? How Niger? So you're looking fresh. This guy now enjoyment. To share the money.
The guy don't make the whole money for Nigeria now. How you not gonna look fresh?
Is it just me or your volume is a bit low? Can you guys hear him properly? Can everyone hear him properly?
It's just about, you want to probably turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, the volume is quite low. I can't hear you properly. Why you?
Okay, am I clear?
That's better.
Yes, better.
That's better. All right, Toxic, straight up. You might have heard about the news that Tottenham has signed Nuno Espirito. Apparently, Theo doesn't think he should be threatened by that, right? I have my own comments about that, but I'm going to go around the table before coming to me. What is your thoughts on these guys signing for Tottenham. Apparently, this guy has been able to take Wolves from the Championship into the Premier League and he's kept them there. And I felt he's done a good job. What's your thought on this signing?
So first of all, I believe Nuno is a victim of overachieving. He's a victim of his own success. You understand? Because nobody expected Wolves to do what they did in this first season. It's just like sometimes when Messi scores, I don't know, 27 goals in the league or 30 goals in the league, everybody will be like, we've seen you score better, higher than that. You get, but that amount of goals in the league is actually incredible. You get, so he's a victim of his own success. Maybe the club were expecting him to move one step ahead, but I was even surprised when they sacked him because I was like, how did this one happen? He's a good coach. He's a good manager. This whole mini Mourinho thing and people saying he's pragmatic and all that, I don't know if I'm the one that doesn't really see it that way because you've seen games that Wolves has played against Arsenal. Have you ever seen that team sit and wait for Arsenal for them to be on the counter attack? I've never noticed. And then in that first season when Wolves rather were that successful, I don't think there was much of him doing that. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Maybe it's the way I'm watching the games. I've always admired him as a manager. You know, I've always said this guy is a good guy. Maybe he needs a step up. And then when they didn't get Conte, obviously, like I was happy. Maybe I'll be a bit more sad if they got Conte, but yeah, Nuno is an okay guy. It's a pretty much a 50-50 thing. They don't know what they're going to get, but I believe he'll do well, maybe, possibly, but it's a good appointment for me, for them anyways. They should enjoy.
Okay. Mossyboy, what's your thoughts on this guy? Quickly,
You can see me when talk started talking, I just keep smiling. You know, I'm happy. If Tottenham has signed
them or happy?
No. I'm happy that Tottenham signed Nuno, right?
Really?
If Tottenham has actually gone to sign Conte, I will be saying Tottenham will win the Premier League before Arsenal win the next Premier League. Now they signed Nuno, it means next season Arsenal has got a chance to finish above Tottenham.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Because when Nuno, I would probably say Nuno will probably come and turn Tottenham squad to Portuguese again. Because if you look at him in with Wolves, at least 9 out of 11 players playing, they are all Portuguese players. From the goalkeeper, right back, maybe probably this English guy, their captain, is the only one that is not Portuguese in that team.
No, Cody,
Cody. Yeah. So every other player coming into Wolves, they are. I don't know. Maybe probably just like them. So that's why I'm so happy that Tottenham appoint him as their manager.
Okay. So the two people here right now, Theo and Mossyboy, seem to be aligned and against toxic. I want to hear your opinions about Nuno, Gbemiga.
We all know Nuno, right? We've known him in Wolves for a few years now. Wolves haven't been the best team, but they've been a lot tougher since he became the manager. You have to admit that, right? With the resources he had with him, right? He made Wolves a team that, you know, like they weren't easy to beat. There was a season, I think 2 or 3 seasons ago, where like almost no top team could beat Wolves, right? So you know the kind of manager he is. I think that if he goes to a club where he gets more money and he works with better players, he could do a better job, right? So you see, the truth is, I've come to a point where I realize that the Premier League is hard and it's always going to be hard, right?
Yeah.
You have to, you can't, there's no easy team and there will never be. You just have to work, you have to try your best to be the best, you know, among this very tough bunch, right? So and unlike Mossyboy, I'm not happy that, you know, like he's been in the Premier League for a number of years, so he knows his stuff, right? We played Wolves twice last season. He beat us twice. The first one was a lot more convincing than the second one. I mean, the second one, you know, we had a bunch of some issues, but like they beat us twice still, you know. So I won't be very happy to say, oh, it's no, they're not going to do well. And you never can tell. You don't know what kind of resources they want to make available for him. I don't think it's going to be a lot, but I think if he has better players, and this is Tottenham. I mean, they might sell Harry Kane, but they still have Son. They still have some good players. You know, Doherty
Yeah,
came
that
from
is the
Wolves,
question I want to ask you,
Goldberg.
actually.
These players are there, so it might. I think I don't know why he likes Portuguese players. Maybe that he's a Portuguese man, so maybe he has a lot of relationships with these Portuguese agents and he's able to get good deals, right? But you never can tell what's gonna happen, man. But like, he's on, man. I can't. But I'm glad they didn't sign Conte though, because Conte is a proven winner. You know he's going to win. You just know, right? But
Yeah, but that's the question I want to ask you, Gbemiga. Do you think he will be able to convince Harry Kane to stay?
no, of course not. Come on, of course not.
So
Of
that's the
course
thing.
not. If Harry Kane does not leave, village people they follow him. No be whining. Village people they follow him if he no come out.
One leg out already.
You know what? I love this discussion. You know why? Because I have two gentlemen on one side of the spectrum in Theo and Mossyboy, and I've got what's his name? Toxic on one side of the spectrum. Then you from the US, you decide to stay in the middle. Now let's balance this up a little bit. What I do know about Espirito is the fact that when they were in championship, they tagged them as the Man City of the championship because they were playing exciting football. What I think about Espirito is I think he's so tactical. This guy was a goalkeeper before, don't forget. And from what Suki, big up to you, by the way, he's saying Nuno literally played under Mourinho back in Porto, right? Now, this guy, I think what must have happened was he analyzed the level of his team and changed the approach because he knew Premier League was going to be harder. And he was more pragmatic in the Premier League. And this is why you guys are actually saying it as if this guy is just defensive minded. But like Gbemiga actually said, there are a lot of games that we've seen that these guys actually play exciting football. When you had the likes of Diego Jota on there, and I can't remember the name of all this striker, and this other guy that had a problem with his head.
There's a guy there, Neto, that I think is one of the people don't speak about him a lot, but he's one of the best young players in the league.
Yeah. Yep. And there's another player. What's the other guy's name that plays like Hazard sometimes? I can't remember his name now.
Podence.
Sorry? Yeah, Podence. Good. Now, when those guys are attacking, and we've seen this other Portuguese guy that last season he was just nowhere to be found. Is it the Spanish guy rather? That I don't know what happened to him. He just fell down the pecking order and was put on the bench. The point I'm trying to make is I think he was so pragmatic and he decided to change his approach in the Premier League because he felt, you know what, the best way for us to be able to beat the big boys, and let's not forget, right? He did big things against the big boys the first season. Like, hardly did the top six beat him. He played well against Man City. He beat Tottenham. I think he beat almost everybody in the top six or drew with them at some point. So he was quite pragmatic, and that's one of the reasons why I rate him. Now, him going to Tottenham for me, I think is a good deal for him. You know, my opinion, I think is a good deal because now he's going to get better players and probably get better funding compared to what he's going to get in Wolves. In answer to the question, is he going to be able to convince this guy to stay at Tottenham, Harry Kane? As far as I'm concerned, Harry Kane is gone. No manager is gonna stop that guy from leaving because this has nothing to do with managers. Now, if Mourinho could not get Mourinho got the best out of him, yes, but he didn't get a trophy at the end of the day. He's leaving. That guy is, because if he stays again, how old is he? 28? If he stays, that's the end with his trophy hunt.
If they had gotten Gattuso would have held him by his neck and told him to stay.
You never know with these things, man. You never know with these things. But listen, that's some interesting points that you guys have actually put out there. That's a very interesting point, you know. But let's move on to another player who actually just signed for Manchester United. Let's get straight into it. Right, so we're hearing that Sancho has signed for Manchester United. It's the long-awaited signing. They've been waiting for a long time to actually sign Sancho. They've been going back and forth with negotiations. Apparently, it's a big money move, and because it's a big money move, you expect that these things take time. There has to be negotiations back and forth. They will increase it by 2 million. This one was saying, no, reduce by 2 million, reduce by 1.5. They were just haggling words. You know, it's too expensive now. At the end of the day, they settled on like 73 million pounds, according to what I heard. Now, I'm also hearing that Ruben Neves as well is another player that Man United have set their attention on because they know he's not going to come to Arsenal. Apparently, Arsenal, like we've seen before, they're going to take Lokonga and probably going to be looking for someone else, not Ruben Neves anymore. So Manchester United are planning to hijack that move. So what are your thoughts on this guy, Sancho, to Man United? Do you think they're going to win the league, people? I'm going to start with you that is smiling, Gbemiga.
I'm smiling because Manchester United fans, they open their mouth and say Man City spends too much money, right? But this is like what, the third or fourth 80 million pounds player they're buying. They're always spending 80 million every time. Still nothing. See, they will still open their mouth and say Man City bought the league. What are they doing? You know, the truth is Sancho is a baller, right? We know this. If you observed him in Dortmund, he's a baller, right? Although you can say that that's the German league and the level of competition is not as intense as it is in the Premier League, but the talent is there. He's also coming to a Man U team where he's going to work with proven, ballers as well. So you have, Pogba in there, you have Bruno Fernandes in there, you have Rashford in there. Cavani is still there now. I don't really think Cavani is the main guy, right? But Rashford is a baller as well. So he's surrounded by a number of good players. So, and I think he's going to play on the left. Left is also where Luke Shaw plays. And Luke Shaw, you've seen what that guy can do. You see him in the Euros. You even saw him last season. So I think he's going to improve them, no doubt. It's going to bring a lot more like energy to their attack. And imagine, you have Sancho, a good creator. You have Bruno Fernandes, another serious creator, right? And you have them feeding a man like Rashford, who knows his onions when it comes to attack. Is getting a lot more dangerous. And that's why I said the Premier League will always be tough for everybody, like, because everybody's improving. So I think it's a boost for them. I still don't think they're going to win anything. It's Manchester United, as in I would love to be able to banter them for not winning anything ever. So, but we'll see, right? The reason is because two things. One is I don't believe that Ole is good enough, right? And they can banter me. I finished 8th, Ole finished 2nd. So who am I to say that? But I really still just don't believe it's good enough. But anything can happen. Remember, they got to the final of the Europa League last season and still bottled it. So they go bottle now.
Okay. Cool stuff. Mossyboy, what's your thoughts on Sancho?
Well, I completely agree with everything Gbemiga don't talk right now. Man United, you just we spend another 80 million. So it is this guy. He used to be at Man City, if I'm correct, right? And he has never make it into the first team before they actually let him go. But he went to Germany. German football is not as tough as Premier League, but we're going to see what happened anyway because he's coming back into the Premier League to play, but with the pace of the Premier League, because the time you have on the ball in German football, you're not going to have that time in the Premier League. So probably that's why they're thinking that they're getting a good player. So like Gbemiga said, who is Arsenal to talk, because we finished way below Manchester United. So until the season start, before we start bantering each other again. Oh yeah, look at it. Now they spent 80 million on Harry Maguire. They still even Man United fans still call the guy fridge, that he can't turn, he can't do nothing. So
but Maguire is a solid boy, and a solid boy.
Yeah, but and to me, Harry Maguire, I would say he's a good defender. He's a good ball carrier out of the defense. I don't know why Man United are saying that.
Isn't that what they did to Lukaku? Look at Lukaku killing it in Inter Milan
I would say that is one of the biggest mistake Man United have made, to let Lukaku leave Man United. So that's their fault anyway. But we see what happened with this guy when the season starts. But we look at him when they play into their 10th game of the season. Okay, what is he bringing to the table? Is he improving them? Are they scoring more goals? Are they conceding less? So yeah, we see that when the season starts. So yeah.
Okay, cool stuff. Toxic, what's your thoughts on this guy?
Good player, yes. Talented, yes. Prolific, maybe. But what 80 million No,
No.
no.
It's not
He has
Wow,
Tade.
potential. Don't get
Really?
me wrong. He has
wow.
potential.
The
He's
way
a good
the
baller.
Really?
way
He's a
market
proper
is.
baller. He's a proper baller. But I think United have been done again. They're always doing this thing to United. United
Mm.
to go come. How much you want to sell? Want to sell 80 million? I'm not buying. I have 60. They will now take 1 year and come and buy
Mm.
the person at that same
The same
money.
money, yeah.
You understand? Bruno Fernandes was the same thing. Harry
Hmm.
Maguire was the same thing.
Hmm.
Vincent Santinai was the same thing. And referring now to what Gbemiga said, Ole has spent about 400 million now. Ole, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has spent about 400 million now. For what? You understand?
Mm.
And I believe he's coming to play on the right wing because that's mostly the noise I'm hearing for United fans. Right winger, my right winger, my right winger. So normally you should have. I don't know. These days, it's better when you have a right footer on the left side. You have it inverted, then the left footer on the right side, the way Nicolas Pepe is. So, but he's coming now. Probably he will be the right-footed right winger, and then maybe Rashford on the other end with someone down the middle, whatever they want to do. But I don't think he's worth the money. Maybe around 60 million, yes, maybe. But I believe it's the whole English thing again.
I think
He
60
may
million is
perform,
even too much.
but
Are
I'm
you
putting
guys
in the English
serious?
factor and then the nature of the
Wow.
market and the movement. And of course, the club that's buying he gets. So obviously, the price is going to change. But he's a good baller. I believe he already has a really good relationship with a lot of the players at United already. I mean, their
Hmm.
teammates at national level,
Yeah.
Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, and the rest. But to me, I feel he's not worth it, considering the fact that
Mm.
United have other pressing issues. Like I always say, it's good to buy the flashy stuff you get, but what makes a good title winning team? You need to have. There are a lot of elements that you need to have working for you. I don't think United ever had any problem with scoring goals, even last season. Do you understand? But getting a proper partner for be it company or maybe you go and bring someone else or you wait on Fred to maybe revolutionize his game or something or whatever. You understand? So I feel they have bigger problems elsewhere, and maybe it's just the the inner anti-United person in me. But I feel though if they had used that money to secure maybe like a good and proper partner for Harry Maguire, Bailey is a bit inconsistent with injuries.
Mm.
Lindelof is off and on with form, so that
Mm.
would have been money well spent. But spending that much on Jadon Sancho, I feel it's too much. But will he perform? I'll give him like
Yeah.
a 60% to
Oh, John.
perform.
Why Southgate
Okay,
no they
cool.
use them though? Because Southgate they
Okay.
use everybody but Sancho.
Funny thing that I saw a tweet, you get one tweet where I see they said Bukayo Saka now has two 80 million pound players as his replacements at national level and then at club level. So how much is Bukayo Saka worth now?
I tire.
According to the CIES, Bukayo Saka is what around 100 and something.
Okay.
The CIES valuation is what about that. They're looking at the age because people seem to forget that Saka is like just 19. He's younger than all these
Mm.
people. But just before I make my own contribution, Theo, what's your contribution on this guy? Quickly.
Sancho, he's a decent player. He's a decent player. I'll not even say decent. He's a promising one of the promising. He's one of the. Let me not start my agenda, although the agenda has already started. Let me just say what is the truth. He's a good young player. He's worth the money, given his ability, because you can't mention more than 5 wingers in the world right now if you look at the age and the profile of the quality of Sancho. But I don't really even think it will change Man U's level as for say they go win league or they go win Champions League. It no go change anything because we don't hear Di Maria. They talk say they go take over. They no take over. We hear Lukaku. They shout say they take over. They no take over. Pogba, same thing. It goes on and on and on until they change Ole. That's when I will literally start saying, okay, I'm afraid. Well, as for Sancho, decent signing, but hope he flops. That's all I can say.
Hope he flops. That's a interesting
Yeah,
way to
man.
actually
Hope he
finish
flop. I mean, like I love
the
the man,
conversation.
but hope he flops at
Hang on.
United.
So here's the thing, right? I kind of see where all of you are coming from, and I think it's in some cases, some maybe from a place of bias, maybe some is just your honest opinion, but there's always going to be the English factor. There's absolutely no doubt, because that plays a part in the sort of, how much they're going to evaluate the player. He's an English boy coming back home. All that will definitely add maybe extra 10 million or 15 million on top of whatever valuation. But you have to look at him as in comparison to Haaland, for instance, who is the last person we're going to talk about anyways. Sancho, I think he scored double figures over the last 2 seasons, and his goals to assist ratio is actually very, very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. You're talking about maybe 16 or more goals in the last 2 seasons, and his assists are also in double figure ranges as well. And they're competing with the likes of Bayern Munich. And because of this guy, the likes of Julian Brandt can't even sniff the first team. They can't get into the first team because of this guy, because of Marco Reus, because of Haaland. Julian, who looks like a good prospect, can't even get into the team. So for me, I think I agree with that valuation based on today's market, which I still have a big problem with, by the way. I've always, you guys know me, I hate the way money is really ruling football right now. Like, I don't like the idea. But if I'm going to go based on today's market, I probably be evaluating this guy at maybe 60, 65. But what people need to understand is when they are evaluating players, they look at the age. What is the potential gain in quality? What's the potential increments in value? They look at all those things and say, okay, you know what? I'm giving you this guy for this amount because this is how much I think he's worth, because he has a potential to probably get to that amount of money later if you want to resell him. So that's the way I see Jadon Sancho. But like I said, the English thing definitely plays a part in it. Is he going to thrive in Man United? I think so. He's got a very good base behind him. He's got the likes of Bruno Fernandes. He's got the likes of Pogba to play with. And there's something that you said, right, Toxic, about you think goals is not a problem. I actually think goals is their problem. If you think about, a lot of Man U fans have been complaining, the likes of Martial, for instance. Martial was given a chance. Let's go back to when Igalo came to Man United. The reason they got Igalo was because they were having problems with scoring goals. Then Martial then picked up form. As soon as Igalo came, the guy just said, "Oh, more, hey, nothing there happened. Just there banging goals." Igalo didn't get a sniff. He then owned that position, right? Then Cavani came. As Cavani came, they gave Martial several chances. Cavani was on the bench. Martial did not do anything. He did not live up to, the backing that they gave to him. Next thing, they threw him back on the bench, and Cavani took over and was banging goals. And you cannot rely on Cavani. You just can't rely on Cavani because he's old. They're giving 1-year contract extension. He's old, probably not going to last long in Man United. And they're investing in a youth player who is English, who probably will add to goals and assists in the team. Let's think about it in Arsenal right now. How many players score goals? In Man United, they have players that score goals from the midfield, like Bruno Fernandes, for instance. But this guy might add a little bit of that to that. He might add the assist and he might add the goals, So for me, I think he's going to thrive, in my opinion. But is he worth 73? I don't think so, personally. But listen, let's move on to the last player quickly. And it's actually this guy, Halland. So just to let you know, this guy right now, he's been tipped to go to Chelsea. We all know that Chelsea has attacking problems. That's one of the major problems they have right now. They have problems in their attack. And I think Tuchel has been saying, because of the likes of Timo Werner, the way he's been shambolic last season, they're looking to get someone that can score the goals when they get the chances, because Werner had a numerous number of chances, we all know, and Haaland has proven himself. How old is Haaland? I think 20. And that guy is like a machine. He's huge, he's strong, he has the shot power, he has the finishing touches. That guy will be probably one of the best players, in the world, in my opinion, in future. If he keeps going like this, that guy is good. Now, the problem right now is, according to the report, I don't know how true it is, they are saying that there is a get out clause. This Raiola guy, he had a touch. That's agent. That guy is a problem agent. He has problem everywhere he goes because he's money hungry, in my opinion. He's gone to Talk Sports. He's argued a lot with people on Talk Sports. Sometimes he won't get angry and finish the call. the guy is always looking out for his players. But when you're looking out for your players, you're also looking out for your pockets. That's why people don't really like him. They feel he's just too hungry. And I get the fact that it's his job, but it's almost like he's putting his own interest, ahead. And him putting that get out clause in there, it simply means that the guy can freely get out anytime he wants. And I don't think that is a good deal for the club. Secondly, I don't really think that Dortmund are going to allow this guy to go, because it's going to be a heavy loss for them to lose Sancho and lose Halland in the same window. Yes, they're going to get like almost 200 million, but where are the players that are going to come? Except Harry Kane is going to go there. So I don't know what your thoughts are on this guy. Exactly. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, because they're going to be thinking about, okay, if we sell these guys now, who will replace them? So I don't know what your thoughts are. I'm going to start with Theo. Theo, what are your thoughts on Haaland going to Chelsea? Is there any truth in it? Do you think it's going to be a good buy for them? And do you think he's even going?
I think he might go like a 70%, because when it comes to Chelsea and Abramovich, they're not like Man U that they do transfer like say they price food for markets. When they want something, they get it. So I think he might go. As for Dortmund not wanting to sell him, I trust Dortmund to go and find a striker and a winger that will replace Haaland and Sancho, because that's what they do. They've lost Lewandowski, they've lost numerous Aubameyang, and they replaced them immediately. So I don't think that's really a problem with Dortmund. They are getting their money's worth for the players that they developed. That's their system. So Haaland will be a good signing, and I think he will most likely go. And if he goes to Chelsea, they're a big threat, because one of the issues with Chelsea is not creating chances. They create enough chances, but is finishers in the club, like Iwena now. We all know his issues with finishing. If you get a Haaland that is very prolific, they have already won the Champions League. They might just do a double or a treble, because with Tuchel as their manager and they get Haaland, that's a scary combination.
Okay, cool stuff. What about you, Toxic? Haaland.
I'm Team Halland any day, anytime. This guy that goal scoring android. the boy is not normal. This boy not be normal. He has never been normal. Right from RB Salzburg to Dortmund. Now, as in the boy is not normal. So the kind of numbers he's recording right now, and you would think that he still has a peak to hit. So how many goals are we expecting from this guy? And then when he started weighing, there was like a love rectangle between City, Chelsea, Haaland, and Kane. Who is going where? You understand? And to me, I personally feel Harry Kane is more suited for City. That's why he'll probably go that way. And then City may put the money on the table that they've already bid for him. And then Haaland is definitely more suited to Chelsea. Chelsea, they are not a team that beat around the bush, so to speak. They don't come here to. It's a business football, and Haaland is a business player. He scores all types of goals, acrobatic, set pieces from headers from set pieces, counter attack. He has pace. So if he goes to Chelsea, my brothers and sisters, be worried, be very, very worried, because I think I was on a show with One Touch, some other guys, and there was a Chelsea fan. She said, I think Chelsea were only putting away, whether it was 12% of their chances created or something like that, like a very, very, an extremely low figure. You understand? So if they get a finisher like that, and then you have Havertz in the team, you have Christian Pulisic and all those other guys, playing their parts in Locatelli once again. We should be very, very afraid though. But then, do not forget the Chelsea center forward signing cost. Do not forget.
No, but Drogba's left now.
Drogba's left. Flowed on to Fernando Torres.
No, but that was Drogba now. Drogba's left. It was Drogba.
Drogba wasn't bought with. You know how Drogba came now.
No, but it was Drogba that was causing all. It was only Anelka that caused did not hit. Because Anelka Because Anelka won Golden Boot when Drogba was there. Drogba was looking like, what's going on there? How?
You understand? So, we should be very mindful because it can go anyway. This guy can flop and flop hard, which I wouldn't want for him because I absolutely love the player. So, yeah, if Chelsea gets him, we should be very scared. I believe he's a better fit for Chelsea and he will fit into everything that Mossyboy is trying to do. So, yeah, it's a good match for me.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. Mossyboy, I see you're waiting.
Yeah, but the boys they've said it all. But like this guy scored different any different type of goals. He's got a pace. He's strong. If we look at Chelsea last season, from the goalkeeper from the only one thing they are missing is a striker. Look at the number of chances they created for Timo Werner. One-on-one, he missed it, and like a tap-in, he missed it. He just look at Timo Werner against England, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He just missed it. All those type of good I misses when he was at Chelsea. Like, you can see that their manager was desperate when he was there that last season. If they have a striker like this guy, I think probably they will finish above fourth. They finish. We know that Manchester City has already won the title, but if this guy was there, they're not going to be finished. Manchester City, Chelsea, they're not going to be relying on what's it called, Leicester to lose for them to finish fourth. If you understand what I mean, because they kind of miss it. The striker that they have. They're not finisher. They're not very good finisher. But like Toxis said, if this guy goes to Chelsea, Man City, they need to watch their back. Whoever person that was Manchester United that was chasing them as well, they need to watch their back. I'll probably be, if we come back to do a show who's going to win the title next season. Now, if they sign this guy, I'll probably be going for Chelsea to win the title.
Okay, yeah. Fantastic point. Gbemiga, before you go ahead, I want you to answer this question here. Not a question. I want you to comment on this statement here. Sentiment said he's not convinced or worried about Halland. For me, he has one type of goal in behind his body. I don't know. Does it on the pads or on the pens or behind? Is it behind defenders? Or what do you mean by PEDs? Play in behind or something. I'm not sure what he means by that. Play. I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure.
What's your thoughts on this? And tell me and give me your opinions about it.
So I'll start with my thoughts on this. I don't really agree. I'm overly convinced about Halland. I've watched the guy play. Like Toxic said, he plays like a machine. You see, Halland has long legs. His legs are long. Those long legs are a problem, right? Because he runs very quickly, and then when there was one shot I saw Halland take one day. The keeper stood no chance.
I saw it. In training, yeah? In training.
Yeah, I'm overly convinced about Ellen. See, let me tell you something. This one, see, I pray to God Almighty. To God Almighty.
It should not happen.
Chelsea must not sign Halland. I'm down on my knees, oh Lord. Chelsea must not sign Halland, though. They're not sign that guy, brother.
If Chelsea
sign Halland, it's all over.
They're gonna kill anybody.
Chelsea could win if they could win the Champions League without a quality striker. Because you know what happened to them, man? Because they don't get striker last season. You know what thing can happen? Everybody they pitching on goals. Everybody they pitching. You get if they can't add quality striker to one like Halland, bro, it's all over. London is blue.
London, I'm telling you, London will turn to blue completely.
They go flog person next season.
Anybody trust?
Yeah, it go bad, brother. Because like Toxic said, and we all noted it, they were creating many chances last season that Werner was throwing away. Werner was throwing away chances. You know, Giroud normally go throw away chances too. If they bring this Halland, the guy can score from anywhere. His legs are too long. He too sabi. They go flog. I don't know. I want to do him again if they sign that guy.
Before make I say this, yeah. If you be Muslim, if you be Christian, if you go church, if you go mosque, but make it a pray. Make Chelsea not sign this guy.
Sign him. I prefer Man City sign him. Man City sign him. I want Man City. But if Chelsea sign him, I don't know why City won't just sign him. I don't know what Pep is doing. Can you just sign Halland?
like Tade was, you get everything Tade talk. Tade say the whole Dortmund factor, losing Haaland and Sancho in the same window and all. You understand? It will be a big blow, but I feel if the outrageous bid, because Fabrizio Romano said it has to be an outrageous bid.
Over
180 million, yeah, something crazy, which we know Chelsea can do. Chelsea
They can do.
Chelsea will run now. So now the problem is, if Dortmund don't sell now, I think there's a clause in his contract that he can go for about 65 million next year. I think there's a clause like that. That if
69, I think it's 69.
Good, but no less than 70 million, which is absolutely crazy for such a player, such a young player. So,
so they might be forced to sell, yeah.
Yes, and another thing that I feel will motivate Chelsea to go in hard now. If you don't go now, and then the money gets to that 68 or 69 million next year, there'll be so much competition, and then you're now likely to lose him to a rival. So you're pretty much strengthening another team.
And that's the truth. And this is the only missing piece in Chelsea. You can't
Chelsea, a striker. That's
the only thing that is missing. You can't say, oh no, they can't defend or they can't. They create this thing is the only thing. If this is the only player they buy this transfer window, is a great window for them.
I'm telling you,
bro, it goes too bad. I've always when Dortmund signed him, I used to wonder, like, wait, how did we let this guy go to Dortmund? Because they signed him from Salzburg for how much? Like, wait. Wasn't the world watching? As in this, we see this boy and what he was doing. How did you let Dortmund sign him?
Actually, Gbemiga, teams in the Premier League are watching him, but he just decided to go to Dortmund then. So teams in the Premier League,
that his agent, Mino Raiola, played a part in that. So he has a good relationship with Dortmund, and he knows the German league is a good stage to showcase such players.
Now this kind of player for just sign that. If not sign him now.
Say we don't go for him after that under 21 cup. All this headache for don't come because
don't better now.
This man scored 9 goals.
9 goals.
So much.
9 goals in one game in a World Cup, as in it may be an underage tournament or whatever, but my age made them be that. Normally,
when you're there among your age mates, you're the tallest, and think say you're older than all of them. but you're not.
The person that you guys say this, right? And that brings me to this comment from Sentiment. Sentiment, can I ask you one question? Honest question. Is it that you just like to hate?
I feel it's
on players because I don't understand. Have you seen Halland? You said Halland is just fast, pace merchant, road runner, very. What are you saying, bro? Have you really?
He doesn't need too many chances.
Have you seen the number of goals this guy is scoring against big, old, strong men in the league? Have you seen his goal return ratio to appearances? He's as good as Messi and Ronaldo when they were in Real Madrid. He's go. Can someone even, because of this, I'll bring it up. Let me look for it. I know it's close to about, I think, 80% in terms of ratio, 8 to 10 in terms of appearances, consistently. And you're telling me it's just a pace merchant? You think it's
and he won player of the year, Bundesliga player of the year. When was scoring all those goals. So he's not as important for his team.
The irony is that the true pace merchant is our striker.
Aubameyang pace not even come sweet like before now.
Let me quickly say something here. Let me quickly say something about that, right? I was watching Talk Sports today. Yeah. I just watched some few minutes. Mourinho, Mourinho is in Talk Sports now.
Yeah.
Before going to join Roma. He's in Talk Sports, has a contract. He was talking about, they asked him a question between how do you rate Benzema? Because we're looking at all the goals in Euros. And he was like, they keep asking him, Benzema or Harry Kane. What he said he tells people is, why he likes the two of them, why he respects the two of them so much is because they're not just goal scorers. When they're not scoring goals, right?
They contribute.
They are contributing something else to the team. He said Benzema can play the 10, he can play the 8, he can play. He said it's not just people that just score goals and that's it. And when he was saying that, do you know who came to my mind? Aubameyang.
Aubameyang.
That's the person that comes to my mind. And I'm not dissing him, but it's the truth.
It's the truth,
It's the
yeah.
truth.
That
And
man
this is what
doesn't know
Mourinho said.
what he told up play. That's like tell him to press the ball and control the ball. It's like as if they go gym. He's a good.
I always say people don't get distracted. Aubameyang, let's not forget. Not this season that just ended. The season before this, we wouldn't have said this about Aubameyang. Yes, he's no Saka, he's no Pepe on the ball when it comes to holding the ball and dribbling past players and creating chances. But Aubameyang is an intelligence player. You see sometimes when he makes some intelligent passes, you know there's something in there. So you have to judge him based on what he's capable of doing. Two things that he's capable of doing. One, he's a prolific finisher. Forget about what happened last season. Last season is not the Aubameyang we know, and everybody can agree with that. Right? What we'll see next season, we don't know yet, but we know last season is not the Aubameyang we know. He's a prolific finisher and he's an intelligent passer. Those are the two things that I know about Aubameyang.
Tade, please. Let me ask him a question quick. Let me ask you. Yes, go on.
Sorry, there's just one thing you said. You said you can't judge him based on. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. You say you can't judge him based on what he's not good at, or you can only judge him based on what he's good at.
So we say here that players have strengths and weaknesses. This is what we say about Xhaka as well. And sometimes people tend to only look at the weakness of the player and not look at what the guy can do. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying don't talk about Aubameyang and his inability to dribble or hold up play as well. You get? But I'm saying let's not forget the things that he's also good at. And when he does the things he's good at, he creates chances. He had a number of assists in the previous season as well. So I'm not saying he's the best thing since sliced bread. But I'm saying let's not just look at what happened last season and say that's Aubameyang.
So I'm gonna just track back, right? It's not because of last season that I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm looking at it from a balanced point of view. If someone comes to me now, a neutral person, and says, tell me about Aubameyang, I will tell you these things you've said, and I'll also tell you the bad things. And if I'm to have a preference, Lewandowski or Aubameyang, who do you think I'm going to go for?
Of course,
I'll go for Lewandowski. If you ask me Benzema or Aubameyang, I will go for Aubameyang because I know when the goal drop comes, they can offer me something else. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Aubameyang is a bad player. He's a good goal scorer. We know that he's proven. There's no doubt. But if you have a preference, who would you go for? You go for someone that when everything don't dry, waiting you think again. That's just what I'm saying. Sorry,
very valid.
Mossyboy, want to say something?
Yeah, but that's exactly what I want to say. That even though the two seasons that Aubameyang has scored maybe probably over 20 goals for Arsenal in a season, apart from that goal, I don't really see, because of his goal scoring ability, because he is the one that won Arsenal the FA Cup season before. That's why Arsenal fans are saying that, you need to sign him, you need to give him a new contract, you need to give him a new contract. If this guy is just giving you maybe probably 14, 15 goals a season, do you think Arsenal fan will be asking to keep him?
That's Lacazette now.
Because it's not, because last season when they go dry up, it's not contributing anything to the team. Nothing.
You know what? I like Aubameyang, and I've come to not like him so much recently. But I'll go with Gbemiga on this one. I wouldn't let this whole recency bias make me want to pull down the guy, because we know what he can do on a good day. He doesn't have those good days as much as he used to have it, but we know what this guy can do on a good day. He scores against big teams, he scores big goals, goal in semi-final, goal in the final. So he's a proper finisher, and that's that's the key. If he has a chance, Aubameyang, let's say he will score 3 or 5 chances. You understand? He's not a serial flopper or whatever. He doesn't miss too often. Clear-cut chances and all that. He's a finisher. So let's just be patient.
Yeah,
Let's
honestly,
just
if next season come, because I assume he will still be our top striker next season, which is an argument we always have. I personally think the reason I've kind of moved on from Aubameyang in my mind only because I prefer him on the left, and then I don't think he's going to be the guy playing on the left. Not when you have Bukayo Saka and Pepe in the team, right? But I personally prefer him on the left as a top striker. I don't think he will do it, but I assume he will still be our number 9 next season. If next season comes and this guy is not, is not delivering, then yeah, we can now start to move on from him and say, you know what, yeah, maybe it's actually finished. But for now, I would say let's be patient with Aubameyang. I love Aubameyang so much, and so when he starts to criticize Aubameyang, he choke me, gone. He choke me because I don't like the guy.
But you know what? This is where you're getting it wrong. I don't know about where Mossyboy is coming from. I'm not coming from a place of criticism. I'm coming from a place of pure facts about this guy. Yeah, it's not me coming, from an antagonizing angle or anything. I'm just saying it as it is with what I think about him. And this has nothing, absolutely not. Even I got hate for Ozil years ago when we played against Wolves on AFTV. I got hate because then they felt, oh yeah, it's Ozil and everything. You can't say anything
bad about him,
contradictory or anything that comes from a place of critiquing about him. People just don't want you to say the truth. And I've always been saying, since that guy came, and even before he came to Arsenal in Real Madrid, because I had a Real Madrid housemate who I was always watching, I've always had my issues with his work rate. That was my issue with him. And I've also praised his technical ability. Same thing for Aubameyang. I praise his goal scoring. However, what do you offer me when you are not scoring goals? And this is one of the reasons why Emery benched him at some point. Maybe you guys have forgotten.
Yeah,
he benched him at some point, and it's not because of anything. He benched him as well. Becoming from bench. Yes, he came in. He scored a couple of goals. I think against Brighton. They benched him at some point 3 seasons ago. He came in against Brighton. He scored 2 goals and all that. But the point I'm making is, you need to, and I think it's got to a point where he's so old now he can't change the way he plays anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever going to change.
He's not going to add those things to his game. Yeah,
correct. But bro, don't you think that's the difference, guys? Don't you think, because we have 4 more minutes, I want us to end this soon. Don't you think that's the difference between the elite-minded players? The elite-minded players improve and adapt their game to different types of games, like the Ronaldos, the Ibrahimovic. Why can't the Ozils and the Aubameyang do that? This is what I don't get. Why can't they?
Because they're tier 2 now. They're tier 2 players. They don't have it in them. Like they're good, and that's what they are. Some players are better than others.
Tade, you just nailed the nail on the head there. I think maybe probably it's not, he can't improve anymore. He can't change the way he plays anymore. You cannot actually teach an old dog a new trick. You understand what I mean? So
yeah, it's true. This thing you say about I mean, you can't look at Ronaldo that you just mentioned. You see Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. That guy, take him anywhere, is going to find a way. That's just
he's going to find a way. Yeah,
that's not what Aubameyang is.
He's ready to adapt to anything. Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's not. That's not what Aubameyang is, and it's quite unfortunate, right? But we will see.
Quickly, last one, and we're going to end the show, right? Ruben Neves might probably be going to Man United. It all depends on how the conversations, progress between the two camps. But they are planning to hijack this guy from Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal are going in as much for this guy anymore, let's be honest.
We never wanted him.
If this guy should go to Man United, where is he going to fit in within that midfield? Can someone tell me?
They will probably use him. Maybe probably them bringing this guy in to come and replace. What's this name of this Brazilian left-footed player? What's his name?
Fred.
Maybe probably they bring it. However, one thing I want to say about this is, at the moment, if Arsenal and Man United are actually, if Arsenal has not dropped off, Arsenal still wants to sign him, and Man United wants to sign him as well. This guy will probably go to Man United instead of Arsenal, because he got Champions League football over there.
Yeah, but I won't be worried about Neves, right?
I won't. It's not like I'm worried, but
I'm even looking at Man U and I'm saying, okay, so at the moment they have, they have Pogba, they have this other guy, Matic, they have Fred, they have Scott McTominay. who are, players who sort of play in the middle of the pitch. You want to add, I don't know if they're selling those players, but you want to also add Neves to that. Maybe they're just trying to. That guy, I don't know when you offend though. You want to add Neves to that bunch? Like, I don't really know. Like, Neves is okay. He's going to do a few things, maybe score a few set pieces as well. Be troublesome.
Long range shot.
It's not Halland that good. We are good. Fear this one. I don't never. Yeah, cool. Buy him. You're all right.
The thing is that Neves will contribute. Neves will definitely contribute. He may fit in well in the midfield, based on rotation and all that, but he's not a player that will really have you bothered and saying, okay. So if he goes good for Man U, they have another midfielder that probably won't play games, but it's not a good move for him. I feel he can stay at Wolves, bit longer,
I get one question though. I get one question though, and this is now Arsenal they talk. Who will be our star player for Arsenal now next season? Let's say we don't get any star player.
Saka.
All the clubs get star player, and only we don't get. Saka, 19-year-old boy. Like, who is the Arsenal player? We say, as long as that guy did pitch, things must happen for Arsenal. I know this is we get though.
Nobody did there.
I say Saka now. I say Saka.
It's just Saka.
I don't think Saka is proven
Then
yet.
if Saka is not performing, who do we go to?
You know the way I said Pepe needs to step up. If Pepe no step up and make them sell that boy, because now next season I expect him to take that club by the scruff of his neck.
Yes.
What that thing he was doing in the last 3 or 4 games of the season, I want to see it throughout next season.
Do you know who I want Tade to work on here for next season? It's Martinelli. That guy. That guy. The energy in that guy, man. Arteta needs to kind of work on this guy, because like someone just said earlier, like Emery was building on this guy and he's scoring goals. Arteta came, he just okay, we know that he get injured, but he's coming from injury. But there is one time, Arteta, you see the Chelsea game, when he picked up the ball from our own half. I can't believe how let's say N'Golo Kante sleep, and he just run and look at the pressure on him. He can hear the speed of the Chelsea defender behind him. He still stay calm and put that ball away. But still, Arteta still doesn't believe this guy.
That's
In this
one
guy.
for the future. I don't know.
Problem Arteta has. Arteta, I think they do like some of these Nigerian governors,
Nah, fear, dude.
you will come because see project where person all do 70%. So will come,
Then
leave
come,
that one, start.
Abandon and start your own.
now, start your own.
Like, why not just
But guys,
Let's be fair.
but guys, let's look at it from this perspective, right?
Emery wasn't
Sorry.
starting. Okay.
Go on.
Okay. Emery starting Martinelli in the Premier League. Martinelli got his first start under Lundberg. Martinelli was only balling in the Europa League. Arteta came in. He played him for some matches in the Premier League. He got injured. Immediately he came back from injury. Arteta started him against City in the Carabao Cup. Next match against Chelsea. And then he re-injured himself. 2-3 matches later, he wanted to start against Newcastle. He re-injured in training. And then since then, Arteta has been very cautious. So you can't really blame him for saying, he hasn't gotten enough opportunities just due to circumstance.
You make a valid point.
You put an interesting spin to this, right? Because I remember during the season, I looked at these stats. Do you know that this guy started more games than Nketiah last season?
Of course, now Nketiah, we abandoned Nketiah last season. Nketiah and Reece Nelson abandoned.
People didn't really know, but he had more game. He had more appearances. Nketiah had more appearances than Martinelli in terms of appearances, but little minutes. But starting, Martinelli had more starting than Nketiah. Now, Theo makes a very good point. But what I wanted to actually say was about this project that Toxic was saying. At the end of the day, that's a good example. We need to understand, like, everyone has different ways of doing things and different tactics that they want maybe players to follow, or different ways of playing football. And in most cases, it's not always gonna. For instance, now I look at Giroud. Giroud got a chance under Lampard. As soon as Tuchel came,
No.
Otin Odoi, the first few games he got chance under Tuchel.
Tuchel.
Tuchel saw that this guy, you're not doing what I want.
Tuchel, he did one crazy thing, brought him on and took him off.
You know, he did what Wenger did to Eboye, and did what Bolarus, what Mourinho did to Bolarus.
And Rudiger, no, they play under Lampard. See, Tuchel come, Rudiger become the main man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have to look at it from both points of view. But I kid you guys not, right? I kid you guys not. Martinelli will thrive. If Arteta is the manager, I think he will thrive because he's definitely gonna keep that guy, and he's been saying a lot of positive things about him, which I think everyone agrees with. He's infectious. He's always working hard.
We love him. I don't know. That's not love him. We just love him.
But this is my own personal opinion. He's still very raw. He needs to refine. He needs to mature in certain areas of his game. Like they are very keen. Sorry? No. What I'm saying is when he plays, like for instance, now remember the game that a guy got injured before they even started the game. He needs to. I don't know if you guys can do it in warm up. He was too keen. He will go tackle everybody. Go tackle Akuma. Oga, calm down. You need to improve yourself in certain areas. Those are intelligence that players need. It's not every ball you go for. It's not every ball. You need to use this. But just before we round up quickly, someone made a donation. I'm suspecting this person is Sentiment because Sentiment said Tade, I think someone dropped you a super chat. Now, please, whenever you're dropping super chats, I really appreciate whenever you're dropping super chats, use the one in the link in the description because I have two different types of links. One I use on my other setup and this one. He actually sent it on the other setup. And I literally just grabbed what he said. So this is from Ateta. So Ateta actually donated, but I'm suspecting it is Sentiment FC that donated to me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate
it. The people you support, they always donate money to you, Tade. That's what you do. This man.
If you say me too, I go start supporting Ateta now. I go start supporting Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes,
I go start supporting all of those guys now. You know.
I wanted to say something real quick on that Martinelli issue.
Let me just read it out quickly. Thanks for the kind words and back up. It's getting tough for me out in the streets. Nuno is the C-Tech Mourinho with a good bedside manner. Tell a friend. Anyway, I will tell a friend Mikel Arteta, but I think this is Sentiment. Thanks a lot. Sorry, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I just want to say something about Martinelli. And this all like whether I will thrive or not. I think the real issue, right? And maybe Tade doesn't have this issue. And maybe Theo as well. I don't know. I'm not sure what side of the spectrum Theo is on, but a lot of fans don't trust Arteta. It's a trust issue, right? It looks like the logical thing to give this boy chances. It's one of the reasons why I'm really sad that we're not in the Europa League because those, how many matches now? Those 6 group stage matches in the Europa League is always a good chance for young players to play, But we just don't trust that Arteta. Like, he says a lot of nice things. Since like November last year, I stopped watching Arteta's press conferences because
that's true.
I go watch the press conference, I go there happy, I'll go watch the match. He says a lot of nice things, but does he back it up? So with Martinelli, we're just looking at him and saying, yeah, we understand the injury situation, but I'm like, there've been fan forums have been on where they debate to the last year Arteta don't like Martinelli, but we don't know. Because, guy, they show us the love for pitch. Now, just trust issues. Next season, now, is chance to clear our trust issues with Mr. Arteta. Anything he does next season, that's who he is. Nobody can tell me any other thing.
I think we need to get to the end of the show. We've gone past our hours and everything. Listen, people, any last words from any of you? Round the table quickly. Any last words from you, Toxic?
All right, good prospective transfer so far for us now. Doing the business early, not waiting till 29th August. Doing the business early is always good so that I can involve these players nicely and on time. And then hopefully, I think maybe there's a big signing loading somewhere. I'm feeling it. It's telling me somewhere. Yeah. Apart from Ben White, apart from the guys that we've had, I feel there's something loading though that we don't know about yet. So hopefully it will be a good window preseason is starting soon, so yes, let's see what the show.
Fantastic. Mossyboy, last words, please.
Yeah, me, I said it before we started the show. I just can't wait for Premier League season to start. I'm just bored now of this international football. So, and again, one thing I want to say. I'm praying. I'm on my knees for Gbemiga. I know Gbemiga is on his knee.
You need to go on your knees. You need to go on your knees.
Chelsea must not sign Halland. I'm on my knees now.
Let me join.
So if Chelsea sign Halland, forget it. They will be winning that title next season. So yeah, that's my last word for today. Trust.
Tade, I have no last words. Those were my last words. They've been spoken. Prayer to God.
Love everyone. The boy at the blunt point lovers, be lovers, haters, be haters.
Yes.
Tick tock, time na money. Ori, me, check a shake yori. Licky, come and take me away to the place of my desire. I don't wanna be